Hey, yo, this is Symptom with 210 West Radio live here with Sly Boogie.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
All right.
210 West Radio visualized, live and direct. So I wanted to know, how you got started and how you knew you could make a career out of music.
How I got started, how I know I could make a career. I got started recording with some cats out of Philadelphia. It was a live band, two Jewish cats and a brother. And we started making records. I got signed. Excuse me, I got signed right out of high school. We started making records, and a cat by the name of Happy Waters from Buzztone Management, the same management company that used to manage Cypress Hill, Phone Boogies, and all that. He had a record label called Immoral Records. I signed that record label, and shit, I got a check, and then that's when I know I can make a career out of it.
Right. Now you eventually signed a deal with J Records, and I don't want you to go all the way into it, but I do want to know, basically, to make a long story short, what happened with the situation?
That whole situation was pretty much a whole bunch of conflicts of interest.
Okay.
Them two dudes, Sway and Tech, they kind of weird. They some fucking weirdos.
Okay.
They kind of weird.
Okay.
So I really don't think that, like, when we first started, we didn't. I could tell it wasn't gonna work. Conflicts of interest when we was negotiating the contract.
Okay. From the start. Okay. Now, when we first started negotiating the contract, right? Because I pretty much know how to read a contract. I know what to ask for and shit like that. Right? Follow me? Right.
So I had an attorney that was gonna negotiate it for me. Okay. They said that, well, the attorney said, because it was a 3-page contract.
Okay.
It was 3 pages.
Okay.
Actually 4 pages. And when I gave it to the attorney, he said, nah, man, this is a short form contract. We need a long form contract.
Right.
So I guess he called Sway or somebody, I can't remember. And he told him, yeah, fuck that. We need a long form contract because, this short form contract is like, it's not really a good contract. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you offering?
Right.
What's your proposal? It's not much shit in here. It's really simple. It's like, nothing. So Sway, I don't know if it was Sway or it was Sway.
Okay.
He got impatient and was like, fuck that. You use our attorney. We gonna give it. He gave me a list of 3 attorneys. I went over to Tech's house and Tech handed me a list with 3 attorneys' names on it, right? One of them was K.D. Washington, who was a black attorney.
Okay.
Another one was Tabitha Thorpe, who was also a black attorney. And the third one, I can't remember who it was. Now, K.D. Washington was the one that I picked. Okay. Now, the whole thing with K.D. Washington was we met at the sports bar. What's that sports bar off of the 10? Off of the 10 freeway by West Covina Mall.
Scoreboards or some shit like that, or Nationals, or?
I think it was Nationals.
Okay, Nationals, okay.
Yeah, he hit me up, he called me, he was like, yeah, man, go on and meet me at Nationals. I says, all right, so we meet at Nationals, and he walks in with the contracts, with, the manila folder or whatever, sits down, pulls out some pens, right? This is the contract, the short form, right? Pulls out some pens, pulls out the contract, and was like, okay, sign here. I was like, whoa, nah. I was like, I want to negotiate some shit. I want to change some shit. So he was like, all right, cool, I think it's a cool contract. I said, I don't think it's a cool contract. So I had written down everything that I wanted to change, and I gave it to him.
Okay.
he went back and negotiated with their attorney. Went back and forth for a little while, back and forth. And then he came and shoved, they wanted me to sign a publishing contract too, publishing deal with them, which was whack too.
Right.
Like, it was like 60-40 and they was gonna give me what, $5,000, $10,000 or something like that. So, for my publishing.
Right.
So, I told him, well, first we negotiated that contract. Right? The short form contract. And then KD ended up meeting me back up in Nationals and saying, you know what, he's starting to get fed up. No, actually, I got a call from Sway saying, you know, fuck that, this is taking too much time. If you don't hurry up and sign it, I'm gonna pull out. So I was like, oh, there was just one more thing I wanted to change in the contract, right? I was like, fuck it. I might as well go on and sign it, you know, it's Sway and Tech.
Right.
How can I go wrong?
How could you go wrong?
How could I go wrong in Sway and Tech?
Right.
You know, they're like pro artists. They're artist advocates.
Right.
Right?
The label's label.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Label.
Yeah.
Artists, they go hard for the artists.
Right.
Especially hip hop.
Right.
So, what happened after that? So after that, I was like, fuck it, I'll sign that shit. Fuck it, here. Yeah, sign it. Then KD pulls out the publishing contract. Like, well, the publishing contract, they wanted you to sign it. Go on and sign that. And I said, no, he said, you know what? I can't lie to you. You know, I don't even feel right doing this. He said, these motherfuckers tried to get me to trick you into signing this publishing contract. But I don't feel right doing it. So I'm just gonna let you know, publishing contract is whack. Don't sign it. You can get way more money than this, and I can shop you a publishing contract.
Right.
So I was like, cool, I wasn't finna sign the shit anyway. So after that, what happened after that? So you signed the contract, right? That was the first conflict of interest, right? The negotiation. So Sway was like, you a new artist. What do you have? You know what I mean? Right. This is whatever. Anyway, I don't think he was aware of the fact that I was signed prior to that. Anyway, after that, started working. Me and Tech had already started recording records, so we started doing the Power 106 thing. Felly Fell played the Jacket for Beats and all of that. Started picking up momentum. I think Mr. Chop was the first one. I don't know if it's Mr. Chop or Felly Fell. I don't know. Okay. So the records started getting played. Singles, Fatal Mistake, Summertime record, all that shit. So after that, we ended up going and having a meeting with J Records with Clive Davis. So we went and we had a meeting with Clive, and then after that we signed the deal or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Now the whole time I was like tripping because me and Sway had a meeting at California Pizza Kitchen, and this nigga sits me down and was asking me about, how'd you grow up? Or whoop-de-woo. Have you ever been shot? Have you ever been stabbed? Whoop-de-woo. I was like, shit.
This is Sway asking me that?
This is Sway asking me
okay.
This was around the time 50 Cent was popping.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So we at California Pizza Kitchen. He asked me all these questions. Have you ever been shot? Have you ever been stabbed? You gangbang, you do this, you do that. What kind of... I was like, no, I ain't never been shot. I said, yes, I've been stabbed before. No, I'm not no gangbanger. Yes, I've sold dope before. Yes, I smoke weed. He didn't ask me that. They don't like weed. They don't like motherfuckers that smoke weed. And motherfuckers used to panic every time I smoked weed. I couldn't smoke no weed. You shouldn't smoke, don't smoke. Because they don't smoke or drink.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, he was telling me, damn, you never been shot?
okay, we're going to have to make up a story. I'm like, what? We're going to have to make up a story. We're going to have to fabricate some shit. I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He was like, yeah, we got to make something interesting. It got to be interesting and captivating. And I was like, okay, so what's the story? And then he didn't go into detail about any particular story or whatever. I was just tripping off of that, like, fucking serious. So at that point, I already knew, like, nah, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? This ain't for me. Cause his whole thing was, you know, you gotta have like, you gotta have an interesting story or whatever. I got stories. I do have stories. But I ain't finna fucking sit up and fabricate no shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So after that, we alright, so we go out there, and after that I was feeling real uncomfortable.
Okay.
You know what I mean? From that meeting on, all the way through the whole fucking shit, I was uncomfortable than a motherfucker. I felt so out of place. Like, I never rode two square motherfuckers like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't like rolling with motherfuckers like that. I don't like rolling with scary ass, paranoid ass, square ass motherfuckers. So the whole time through the whole shit, I was very uncomfortable. I felt like I was losing myself. Like, oh well, I'm kind of disgusted. You know what I mean? This is swing tech. I'm disgusted.
Right.
So after that, we signed the deal, right? And we started working on the records. We did the California remix. They did the California remix.
Right.
And by the way, they ended up throwing the Tupac verse. Should we talk about that or shouldn't we?
I always wondered about that. I always wondered about that.
Yeah. So I gets to the studio one day, right? I gets to the motherfucking studio, and I'm listening to the fucking song, the California remix song. I hear everybody else's shit on there. Sway was like, our tech was like, I got a surprise for you. I was like, oh really? And he played that shit. I was like, what the fuck? It's Tupac. And he was like, yeah. I was like, how the fuck you get that? He didn't tell me. He just put his head down and was smiling. I was like, how the fuck did you get that, tech? And he ended up telling me he got his hands on fucking some of the masters or some shit.
Okay.
How the fuck he got it, I don't know. They just threw it on there. You know? It was a recycled verse.
He didn't tell you that?
He didn't tell me that. I didn't know that at the time. When I found out, I was pissed. I was mad. So the whole Tupac thing was like, okay, get this Tupac verse, right. Throw it on there, bam, instant hit.
Right.
So after that record, we did the video for it, and the whole video thing was kind of funny. It was funny style too. But anyway, after that, so that record, that record was kind of big, and kept recording. Then we had a little situation with the A&R, Larry Jackson, where we recorded a lot of records with Tech, right? But a lot of them he had gotten from producers like Jake One. You know Jake One?
Right.
So Jake One and Babu.
Right.
Who else? Anyway, these producers, they're like $2,500 a track,
yeah,
$3,000-$4,000 a track. Cheap, right?
Budget.
Budget
Right.
Budget producers. So fuck, they record way under budget. Got all these records cheap. Damn their whole fucking album cheap in the motherfucker.
So Larry was like, we ain't got no radio record. Larry Jackson, hey, no, we really ain't got no radio records yet. We need a radio record. So Tech was like, I think we got radio records. I think we got some songs that are potential for radio. Wish there weren't. But Tech has a weird ass ear. He got a fucking weird ass fucking ear. This motherfucker handed me a CD full of beats. Weird shit. He got a weird fucking ear. I don't know if it's because he's Middle Eastern or whatever. You know, they be listening to some weird shit. Maybe he grew up listening to some weird shit. That's how his ear developed. People have different ears. You know that, right? Like, their ears respond and their brain respond to different shit.
Right.
Like what might make you respond, like what may create a response in you, may not be the same with me.
Right.
So anyway, he gave me a CD full of beats, and there was only 2 on there though. The only 2 that I picked was the Summertime beat and what else? What the fuck else did he? Summertime beat. Oh, he did the Haters beat. Take the Haters. Haters. And there's another one on there. Anyway, it wasn't no radio records, okay? Larry was like, we gotta do some radio records. So they got in a little conflict about that first. Larry ended up calling me directly and asking me, hey, you wanna go in the studio with Scott Storch? I was like, hell, you don't wanna go in the studio with Scott Storch. He was like, all right, be at Enterprise Studios in Burbank at such and such time. Go over there. No. Before that, I think we flew out to Miami to see Scott first. Yeah, I think we flew to Miami to see Scott first. And we met him over there, and then he gave me some beats, right? I picked some beats, and I was having a little trouble writing to him, right? Because I've been writing all these fucking backpack fucking beats. So now I got some different radio shit to write to. So now I gotta get in this zone, right? I was having a little bit of trouble writing to him. Not only that, Sway, you know, Tech is a motherfucker that'll look over your shoulder while you're writing your rhymes. You done yet? Motherfucker, looking at my shit. So I ended up writing to a few Storch's beats, right? And one of them was a cool one, but I don't know if it was Sway or Tech that didn't like it, right? One of them didn't like it, or one of them didn't. It's probably Sway ass. So anyway, he was like, "Well, we'll get some. We're gonna get some co-writers, right? We're gonna get you some people to help you write." So I go to the studio, right? I go to the studio, and you remember that song? You remember EST from Philly? Mm-hmm. Remember that cat? Mm-hmm. What's his name? EST, right? What's that the name of the group?
That's the name of the group.
That's the name of the group.
The solo artist, I can't think of that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? EST. However, fuck that shit up. So this nigga's in the studio.
Wow.
Okay? He's gonna be helping me to write a song.
When you get there, he's there already.
He's there. I believe he's there, or he got there after I got there. One of those. So this nigga's helping me write. Right? So we start working on the song. Okay, the beat go, don't. So this nigga's writing. He writes, oh yeah. So this nigga writes a hook, right? Goes in the booth. You know, song comes on. Don't. This motherfucker's like, I'ma tell y'all. I'ma tell you some shit y'all really don't know. Gangsters rock. Gangsters rock. I was like, oh my fucking God, are you fucking serious? Fucking serious? So I called Sway up, right? I called him up, and I said, Sway, I said, dog, come on, man, this shit is fucking whack. And Sway was like, Sly, yeah, that's EST, whoop-de whoop, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck who it is. This shit is whack. He was like, let me listen to it. So I put the phone away and let him listen to it. Don't, gangsters rock. I get back on the phone, right? And Sway was like, that's kind of hot. I was like, I'm done.
What can you do from that point?
I'm done.
What can you do?
I'm fucking fucked. I'm fucked. So after that, I don't even know if Larry liked it. So after that, we ended up at Enterprise Studio out in Burbank, right? And this time, like Larry was like coming in more and more. You know, he was like more aggressive. Ear. Okay. He's got a way better ear than them two motherfuckers. So anyway, after that, Larry sent me over to Enterprise to record with Scott. Okay. Now, we doing shit from scratch, right? We was doing shit from scratch in Miami, but it just, the vibe wasn't there. Right. Probably because them motherfuckers is there.
Right.
So now these niggas ain't even nowhere around, right? So it's just me and Scott. Scott's in the studio. Scott's up in the studio with chain smoking cigarettes, right? Every 5 minutes, rolling the blunt, smoking the blunt. Got his keyboard set up. Just floating, right? Just beat after beat, beat after beat. What you think about this? What you think about this? Every time he hears something, I'll be like, that. Yeah, that. So, that's my name. That was the first one. Did that one. We finished it in Miami. We did It's Nothing down here. I had to rewrite It's Nothing twice, believe it or not. Actually, 3 times. I wrote It's Nothing 3 fucking times. Because they didn't think the lyrics were hot enough, right? I wrote it 3 times. The first 2 versions were way more graphic. But no, these niggas are real funny about graphic shit, right? Like the song I got on my fucking page right now, that Half Sex joint. I don't know if you heard it or not. Heard it. They wouldn't have allowed me to do that one. Tech would have been like, oh, I don't know if you should say that. I don't know if you should do a song like that. It's kind of graphic. Anyway, that's my name, and It's Nothing was, you know, they were pretty successful. Then they had a dispute over which one to release, right? Which single to release. Sway Tech was saying that That's My Name was too West Coast. It was too West Coast. Larry thought it was a cool single because he said, you know, you're saying your name, you're getting people familiar with your name. Okay, it's a good song. It's like, you know, he said, I want you to do something like Eminem did, you know, my name is Slim Shady. So I was like, all right. So Sway was like, it's too West Coast, blah, 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 blah. And Larry was like, I don't think it's too West Coast. Anyway, they got into a dispute about that. I think Sway got mad. We ended up shooting a video. And the video came out. Kept asking for more records. We need you to finish the album. So we couldn't even use none of the shit that me and Tech had recorded because they wanted more radio albums, right? So, excuse me, radio records. So we had to record more songs. They were saying that it was taking too long, or I was taking too long, or whatever. At that point in time, I had ran out of money because, you know, Sway and Tech, being the cheap motherfuckers they are, had only given me a little bit, which was cool. It was cool, but, you know, I had to hustle to make up for the rest of my expenses. So I'm going over here, writing, recording, then I gotta go hustle. Writing, recording, go hustle.
Right.
do an interview, go hustle.
Right.
Go do a show, go hustle. Right? Just to make up for my expenses, because they only gave me what, like 30, 40,000, right? To last me over a span of 18 months. I don't fucking know. Anyway, it wasn't that much money. So at that point in time, I had met this other cat, Malik, at a movie premiere that 92.3 The Beat, no, 103,
100.3 or something.
100.3 The Beat. It was a movie premiere for Scary Movie 3 or something. I don't know. So I met that cat there. He was like, "Hey, what's up?" Cat with a New York accent. Like, "What's up, man?" Said he was Dionne Warwick's nephew or godson or some shit. So he stops me in the lobby. He was like, "What's up, man? Ain't you Boogie or somebody?" I can't remember how we met. Anyway, he was like, "Oh, so what's Swan Tech doing for you?" I was like, well, at the time there wasn't really nothing going on. And he said, well, are you making money? Are you getting paid? I was like, no, really? It was like, well, what about the album? How's the album doing? Are you selling units? Is it in stores? He was talking about the Judgment Day. I was like, yeah. He was like, well, are you getting your mechanicals? I was like, no. And he said, you should be getting mechanicals from that if they selling it in the store. And then he said, did they give you living expenses? I was like, yeah, but I ran out.
Right, it's coming out the pocket, right?
Yeah, I'm hustling now. I'm not getting no money. I'm broke. Well, I wasn't broke, but my budget was up.
Right.
It's over. And then he said, you should be getting a stipend. I was like, really? You should be getting a stipend? He was like, yeah, they should be giving you a stipend.
Man.
I said, damn, I didn't know that.
Man.
So after that, he asked me who was over my project. And he said, he said, I told him it was Larry. He was like, oh yeah, I know Larry. That's my boy. So he said, I'm gonna hook you up with some producers. I'm gonna get you some better producers. I said, cool. So he gave me a CD, a few CDs, and I started writing to the beats he gave me. And then I ended up calling Sway and asking him about that mechanical royalty situation. And he was like, you know what? The Judgment Day album is just to test the market. That's all it is. But I said it's being sold in stores though. I mean, I'm going into Virgin and I'm seeing it.
I bought two copies of that. So.
Yeah, they sold out everywhere. I'm going and I'm seeing like one copy. Right. Motherfuckers are asking me about it.
Right.
So he was like, nah, it's just a marketing tool to test the market. It's like, all right, so nobody getting no money from it? No. Where that money going?
Right.
Who getting that money then? Is Virgin? Is Virgin making a story? Is Virgin keeping it? Is fucking Sam Goody keeping it? Where the fucking money going? So after that, I was like, man, I ain't shit like that. Anyway, and that I had 7 albums that I had to turn in. They wouldn't count now. Wouldn't count. So I still owe them 7.
7 albums.
So, but that one didn't count.
Man.
So after that, this is a long ass story. This is a long ass story. Hey, a lot of shit happened. So after that, damn, what happened after that? So Malik started bringing people in, you know, giving me advice on the phone, like, this is you should have this, you should have that. How come you ain't got this? You should have that. He was like, I'm gonna get you a lawyer. I'm gonna hook you up with an attorney, cause the attorney that you had was bullshit. Your contract is bullshit. I'm gonna hook you up with one of the best attorneys in the game. He was like, he's Eminem's attorney, and he'll go in there and he will get you what you need.
I was like, all right. So he ended up hooking me up with Theo Seldenmeyer. And I ended up going to go meet Theo. Theo was like, let's meet. So I ended up going to go meet the cat. Cool as fuck. Cool ass motherfucking white boy right there. So we chatted for a little while. He said, well, I'll go ahead and, he said he was going to make the call to Jay to see if they can get the stipend or whatever, yada, yada, yada. After that, I get a call from Sway. I get a call from Sway. Mad that he hot. Oh, he's fucking hot. He's fucking livid.
Right.
What the fuck? Why you got a lawyer calling asking for money? You know, we gave you money. Yeah. So basically, what was going on was it was more money coming out the budget that Theo was asking for. He said that Theo asked for some crazy ass, unreasonable, astronomical amount of money. Right? And it made everything look bad, supposedly. Okay. So he said that you know what, I'm not supporting your project no more. I ain't supporting, you know, that's why I'm not getting it on MTV. I'm not supporting, I'm not pushing you, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. That's why I'm not pushing the video. This is why. And there you have it. That's why the shit got fucked up. Because a nigga got mad because I got a different attorney. And the attorney called the motherfucking label, asking him for a fucking stipend. And asking him for, you know, I think that's all he asked him for. That's it. And then that was it.
I know you had a lot of expectations, you know, prior to signing the deal. What ended up being the biggest misconception?
The biggest misconception is the fact that them motherfuckers are some fucking weenies. I'm thinking, you know, I'm in good hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm in good fucking hands. These niggas, this is Sway and Tech. I'm in good hands. They ain't dirty. They ain't janky. You know what I'm saying? They ain't on no fucking
hip-hop.
Janky shit. They hip-hop. They like, they ain't finna do no janky shit or, you know, they ain't finna sit up and argue with the A&R at J Records over a fucking record that he says is radio. They don't think it's radio. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't think that they would even trip off of that. I wouldn't even think that they would actually have me sign into an R&B label. Right. What the fuck you go there for? Right. Because you know they're gonna want, you know they're gonna want to make radio records. Right. You know they got Alicia Keys and fucking Cassidy, fucking featuring with R. Kelly and you know fucking Angie Stone and all that shit. Man, look at their label. Right. What the fuck you gonna go here for? Because Clive Davis. That's what he said. It's Clive Davis. Right. That's another thing. So we at the fucking hotel before we go to meet Clive Davis. These niggas is in there prepping me for my meeting with Clive Davis where I go in and I audition for Clive Davis, right? These niggas pull me to the side. Be careful what you say. Be careful. We want you to bust a verse. We want you to bust a verse, but don't curse. Don't curse. Don't curse. Why not? Because Clive is older. Okay, he's older. Don't say anything about gay people. Don't say nothing about gay people. Why? So anyway, I go in there and audition for him, and I got nervous. I bet. I was like, fuck. I bet. I don't want to fuck this up. You know what I mean? I don't want to fuck it up, but I got hella fucking nervous and ended up fucking up. Ended up cussing.
Got kind of a little nervous with Clive a little bit. Understandably.
Yeah. Because, you know, when a motherfucker preps you for some shit, this nigga's always pulling me to the side trying to prep me for some shit. Right. You feel me? I can't even go in and just do me. Just let me do me. This nigga's always fucking planting seeds in my head like, oh, if you fuck up, you can't say this. Right. Oh, you don't do that.
Right.
don't wear this, don't smoke no weed, don't drink no beer. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. I'm like, fucking your son?
Right.
Nigga, I'm a grown ass man. So anyway, yeah, I go in there, I fuck up, whatever. We get the deal anyway. I just wanted to let you know that's another one of the things that's like that. It wasn't no chemistry. We had absolutely no chemistry. I would not be hanging out with them niggas nowhere.
Right.
Because I don't like rolling with paranoid motherfuckers. Because paranoia is a disease and it's contagious.
Right.
Anyway, Larry ended up calling me one day and saying they shelved the project because he said that you didn't finish enough records and it's going too slow or some shit to that nature. Right? This is after they put out the If You Got Crew with the Jagged Edge, right? That's after that. And speaking of that, they got in a dispute about that too. They got in a conflict about that too. I guess Mr. Chop told Tech that it probably wouldn't be a good idea for them to put the If You Got Crew Jagged Edge joint out. Instead, they should put out It's Nothing. So they put out It's Nothing and If You Got Crew on the same 12-inch, right? One on each flip side. And Mr. Chop was like, nah, I think his fans are gonna be disappointed if you put out the girly joint. But J Records, we had sat down and had a meeting with Michelle Sanchez, product manager or whatever. We had a meeting with her, and they had a whole fucking campaign planned out for that single. And these niggas started arguing with them about that. And then Larry wanted to put out If You Got Crew, and then they wanted to do It's Nothing. So It's Nothing was big over here. It's Nothing was huge over here, of course, because you know they was pushing it, because that was the record that they wanted to push that one. Right. The If You Got Crew got spins, like it got national spins, but I don't know if it got as many as It's Nothing. I know it didn't get none out here,
right?
Because they said that that's not the right record to put out. So of course, you know, I'm pretty sure even if it was getting requested, they wouldn't play it. I doubt they would, just because it's like it's an ego thing,
right?
That's a hit. I say it's a hit. I know what I'm fucking talking about.
Feel like you've been going the whole year. Came home.
So of course they're gonna fucking put everything behind what they believe in and what they pick. Cause they don't want, you know, they want to prove like I know what I'm talking about. So It's Nothing was that record, and that's why everybody was fucking hearing it, because they pushed that record. So yeah, that's basically it, man. Conflicts of interest and just a bunch of fag shit.
Okay.
Just a whole bunch of fag shit, man. I'm glad I ain't fucking dealing with that shit no more.
What's your current situation right now?
The current situation right now is I'm not signed, I'm a free agent.
Okay.
And I'm putting together my own label.
Okay.
And coming out with a mixtape this month in June. End of June, early July should be the bit. I'm thinking like middle of July. I'm trying to play it safe. I don't want to rush it. And yeah, I'm just setting up my label, you know, getting all of my paperwork right, contracts and all that shit. So, and I'm looking for artists too. I'm looking for artists.
That's what's up.
And also, you know, trying to get the website back up. You know, the website was up and then it was down. And because my boy, something happened with the domain or whatever. Now I got this other motherfucker Louis. Speaking of Louis, I gotta call that motherfucker. That motherfucker got my domain, and I gotta get my domain. I still got the other one, and yeah, I'm slowly but surely trying to build up the content for the website too. And that's it.
Now, what advice can you give?
The advice that I would give, man, well, it would depend on what they're trying to do. Like, what their goals are. That could be a lot of things.
Okay. you advise them to sign with the label, or would you advise them to go the independent route?
Well, it would depend on what they're trying to do. If they want to have more control over their careers and their projects,
right?
They want creative control and they want to make money, all the money, and not have to divvy it up with nobody.
Right.
Then I would recommend them going independent. But if they want a machine behind them, to where they ain't got to worry about, because when you're independent, you gotta wear a lot of hats.
Right.
If they want a machine behind them, where they ain't gotta wear a lot of hats, but they're gonna get paid less money, and have a motherfucker standing over them telling them what to do every 5 minutes, and go somewhere.
Right. Last question for you. Where does Sly Boogie see himself in 5 years?
Island somewhere in a fucking hammock, sipping a cocktail with my laptop and fine ass chick in a bikini, fucking smoking a big fat ass stogie, shit, with my little English bulldog running around, listening to some mellow music, shit, probably popping a molly,
right?
Just chilling. That's where I'm gonna be, somewhere far, far, far away from this motherfucker.
And then you mentioned that you're looking for artists. How can they get at you? How can they link up with you?
If you can get at me on Twitter, it's Sly Boogie 7. All of my social networks are Sly Boogie 7. It's SLYBOOGY and the number 7. SLYBOOGY and the number 7. That's the Twitter, the Facebook, and the MySpace.
So, once again, bro, I appreciate you meeting up with me.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
210 West Visualize. Yeah.
And rolling.
Hey, yo, what up, y'all? This is Sly Boogie Live with the Visualize. 210 West, baby.